Hi, my name is Josh. Today we'll take a look at how we were able to more than double the revenue numbers for our client, Suits Outlets, by taking a holistic approach to their digital advertising. Let's start with a quick intro to Suits Outlets business with a word from the owner himself, Daniel Liu.
Hi, my name is Daniel Liu, and I'm the owner of Suits Outlets. We sell suits, shirts, accessories, and just all different kinds of menswear online. Roughly 20 months ago, we were running our Google Ads account in-house with less than stellar results. But over these 20 months working together, we have already seen tremendous improvement. This process all began with a phone call from Nick at Logical Position, and after just a few conversations, ultimately lead to them reviewing my account in depth and creating a strategy for me that they would employ if I were to become a client. Everything went beyond my expectation. Fast forward 20 months and $1 million in sales. Here we are.
Alright, let's get started. So to begin, we will take a look at Suits Outlets' website, primarily the layout and structuring. At first glance, we can already see that Daniel's website does a great job of playing towards his target audience. The primary colors of black and red have been shown to attract a male audience, as the outward appearance can feel bold with a sense of strength and stimulation. This is perfectly tailored toward his target demographic and shows a level of consideration beyond that of most websites. As for the layout, we can see numerous calls to action above the fold, highlighting current sales and also allowing users to navigate to individual categories of clothing. From a segmentation standpoint, Suits Outlets perfectly follows the recommended structure of making the user's journey as effortless as possible. Hovering over a category will propagate additional subcategories that further allow a visitor to look at the topic of their choosing. Overall, Daniel's website passed the handful of brief checks that we typically look for in a potential client. Now, having done a bit of background work on Suits Outlets' company and website, we will dive right into the state of Daniel's online efforts prior to partnering with Logical Position. At 10,000 feet, the Google Ads account actually looks okay. The structuring has a decently thought out theme, the account was properly tracking revenue, and return on ad spend was in a profitable state. The account definitely could benefit from further segmentation, more robust call tracking, and other advanced optimizations. However, we could safely assess that the main area of opportunity was in scaling the account more. Now, when we are talking about scaling, we're taking into account the overall growth of the business, not just the growth of the Google Ads account. We'll showcase this concept with the following slides and statements, and then complete today's session with a quick dive into how we made these strides in performance. So here we can see the 5 months of data for Suits Outlets prior to signing with Logical Position. To highlight a few important areas, we see that the gross sales was at $238K, Google Ads spend was at $9.3K, and Google Ads return on ad spend was at 8.08. We'll reference these and other numbers later for sake of comparison. Now let's take a look at the 5 months after signing with LP. In this time frame, we see Google Ad spend increased to 23.3K, but return on ad spend plummeted to 2.86. At surface level, it would seem that we scaled too early and the increased ad spend was a detriment to the account. However, as we peel back the layers, we see this is entirely the opposite of the truth. Taking a look at gross sales, we see that we skyrocketed to 493.1K. Putting these frames side by side, we can begin to see what a holistic scaling effort can look like in terms of results. When considering percentage change, the numbers look as so. 150% increase in ad spend, 65% drop in Google Ads return on ad spend, and we more than doubled the total site sales. So to put this in context, we essentially spent $14K more dollars to return $255K more in gross revenue. Now, it's vital to look at where this additional revenue came from, considering that it clearly wasn't through the Google Ads account. What was the overall change that LP made, and how was the drop in Google Ads revenue relative to the gains made in other channels? Well, to put it simply, Logical Position identified an opportunity to change the role that the Google Ads account played in Suits Outlets' sales funnel. Previously, the account acted as a closer, optimized towards low-hanging fruit such as keywords related to purchasing suits online. While this was effective at a small scale, the strategy can't be amplified, as search volume is capped at a certain point. With the switch from client acquisition to quality traffic, we essentially changed the view of our attribution model. Google Ads no longer was viewed through the lens of last click conversion, as our goal was now to fill the top of the sales funnel. Doing this allowed us to dramatically scale the traffic that we chose to compete for, and subsequently the ad spend of the account. Daniel was comfortable with a 2x return or higher as long as total revenue online was on the rise. This influx of new quality traffic provided us with significantly more revenue opportunity via the other channels, primarily social remarketing and email marketing. Now, to be clear, we made robust efficiency gains in the Google Ads account before deciding to flip the funnel. The more efficient the account was when we chose to scale, the higher quality the traffic would be, and subsequently, the greater the revenue gains in the long term. Logical Position made major adjustments on device spending, demographic targeting, keyword selection, bid strategies, and many other facets of the ads account to make sure that the account was lean and efficient prior to amplifying the spend. So, with the proof of the results above, the question becomes, how do you know if this will work for your business? The short answer, it's complicated. It takes a seasoned eye to understand the potential of an account and a steady hand to make the changes and allocations properly. In a nutshell, the main focal points that we look at prior to scaling are the conversion path / time lag data in analytics and the search impression share in Google Ads. Conversion paths allow us to see the exact path that a user takes on their road to converting. An example being Google Ads to social remarketing to email marketing to direct. Using the data from conversion paths in conjunction with time lag reports, you're able to get a more clear view of the ripple effect that initial spend is responsible for throughout your other channels. As for search impression share, this is a main indicator on an ads account's actual ability to scale. So to quickly define search impression share, it's the people you are currently showing to compared to the potential impressions out there. At the account level, we can see the reasons you are losing market share as well. This is broken down by search impression share lost to budget and to rank. Typically speaking, the current return on ad spend and the areas you are losing market are key determining factors in our decision to scale, and further how we would scale if we choose to. In the case of Suits Outlets, we saw that we were losing a considerable amount to rank, as well as budget, with overall market share coming in around 30%. The maneuvers to improve these metrics are complex, but we can quickly touch on the mindset that we employ to approach the situation properly. In short, impression share lost to rank will most commonly be associated with your cost per click bids. If your bids are too low, other competitors in the auction will outrank you, and essentially push you out of the auction. That said, we need to be careful with raising bids, as this level is tied with an account's return on ad spend. To elaborate, a consistent conversion rate coupled with a higher cost per click will always result in a lower return on ad spend. This makes bidding an especially difficult song and dance, as you must outweigh your priorities in upfront revenue, long-term revenue, and market share. In Suits Outlets' case, the goal was to dominate market share, at least break even on the front end, and allow other touchpoints in the sales funnel to ultimately turn those site visitors to revenue. As you can see from the results, this methodology worked like a charm. Now for impression share lost due to budget, this aspect is relatively simple. Essentially, lost rank in this category means that your ads are being pulled before the end of the day due to your daily budget parameters being set too low. And this brings up an interesting point for setting budgets. Of all the questions I hear, one of the most common is about where the proper budget would be for a specific account. In conjecture with the conversation above, this question becomes relatively simple. Budget should not be set on the front end. Essentially, we should be working towards a scenario where we have fine-tuned the account to consistently produce a return on ad spend that we're happy with. Once this is done, it's most sensible to feed as much money through the account as we possibly can, while holding all other parameters consistent. Budget adjustments should not have an effect on return on ad spend if all other metrics are held in place. In effect, Logical Position commonly reaches a point where we set the budgets near an infinite number, essentially saying that we will spend as much money as we possibly can, knowing that each dollar will be producing a return that we are happy with. After maximizing both of these opportunities, we saw search impression share raise to about 75% in Daniel's account, a 150% increase since we began management. As I'm sure you can agree, there's a lot more that we could cover in terms of scaling and the residual impact that expanded impression share on Google Ads can have on your business if done properly. For more information or to have a personal consultation about your own account, please click the link below to fill out a lead form on Logical Position's webpage. An account specialist will cover everything we spoke about today, as well as countless other opportunities for your business. If you would like to follow in Daniel's footsteps and take your business to a new level, I highly encourage getting in touch with Logical Position. Hopefully this session served you well, and thanks for watching.